Well, let me start by saying why it's important to contribute to fundraisers at Plymouth Harbor. This is a shared community. That means we share the joy of being here, the joy of looking out the windows and seeing the beautiful place that we live in, but comes with that the shared responsibility of maintaining it and of upgrading it.
And don't forget the birds, Phil, because you can stand up on any one of these terraces and look out and see wonderful plumage, wonderful birds flying in to nest at night. There's no doubt about the fact that the birds came first. We may be for the birds, but the birds are here first, and they'll probably be here long after Phil and I are gone. Looking out this window, you've got $1 million view with a piece of property that really does need some love and care.
The thing that I think is most interesting to me about this project, the Peninsula project, is the fact that it was resident-led. You have people who are interested in the water and kayaking, and people who are interested in birds, and people who are interested in the grounds, and just the wealth of knowledge that has been brought to bear, along with the passion to do something right here, has made this, I think, a project that Plymouth Harbor can be proud of, the board, the residents, the community, but also Sarasota can be proud of when it's said and done, that we are investing in not only our community, but making sure that we're integrated into the natural environment very well.
Really excited about our potential to save the Rookery out on our peninsula. It's one of only 3 in the county. We brought together a strong team to do that. Kimberly Horn, who is a national engineering firm, they brought together civil engineers, wildlife biologists, botanists. They just seemed like the natural fit for us. So we've gotten a very global look at what's the best way for us to design and make the best use out of our peninsula.
One of the things that we noticed about the peninsula is it's maybe the last really remaining area that we could make something out of, and that's this peninsula, particularly the birding, but also very importantly, as an example to us, is the kayaking. Right now we have about 40 racks on the peninsula, and there's about 10 of them that have been donated and are actually available as loaners. The kayaking program is growing. We're also, as a part of this plan, going to try to condense the location of the kayaks for those of you that are into kayaking so that all will be more accessible to the lift. And in addition to that, we're going to have a permanent shelter in the kayaking area where you can actually be able to prepare for the kayaking and rest before and after. So I'm really excited about taking the last open area and making it really into a nice facility that we can be proud of. So I'm very excited about this project. The other thing that's pretty neat, and I've even had questions, well, is this going to raise my dues, or are we going to be responsible for the maintenance? And the answer is no, because practically all of this money is being raised by donations.
In 2012, we did have a minor renovation out there. We had a very active grounds committee. Back in 1966, when this building was planned, a commitment was made to retain the peninsula as a wild rookery. It's been a rookery for, it seems, forever. Every night, as I look out my window on the east side of the building, I can keep track of who's at home. Lou Newman and I have been counting the birds that come in the evening.
One of the things that distinguishes a rookery is the fact that you have nesting birds in a rookery, whereas in a roost there are no nesting birds, just birds coming in to spend the night. When we do the annual Audubon bird counts, we often count as many as 700 birds coming into the rookery at night. Most rookeries, when the birds leave, they never come back. Here at Plymouth Harbor, one of the big surprises has been the birds have left, but they've always come back. And this remains one of 3 active rookeries in Sarasota County. We have the mangroves surrounded by the Australian pines. And I think this creates an environment that the birds feel creates a safe environment for them at night. The boardwalk restricts how far the mangroves can migrate up the bank, and the Australian pine needles prevent the mangroves from growing, from reseeding and migrating up the bank. So this means that the boardwalk needs to be removed and the Australian pines need to be removed.
When John Ringling built the causeway out from town to establish these keys, he brought in all these Australian pines to serve as windbreakers and try and secure the land. And they've been here for a long time. I've been at Plymouth Harbor for 8 years and have been very involved in the grounds. And I love to see what is landscaped, but I also love to see what grows naturally. What I want to see down there are native plants and native trees that are part of the Florida ecology of what must be down there. We have the mangroves, and the mangroves are essential to our area. They are in the water, and they help secure the area and help to provide feeding places for aquatic animals. We want to attract songbirds on this area in the East Garden, and native plants will need to be planted there to attract them, berries and flowers and different things.
One day long ago when I was walking home from about first grade, and I saw a fledgling robin hopping along in this yard, and it entranced me. So I ran after it and tried to pick it up, and of course it would go away, and then I'd run after it. Finally I caught it, and I carefully carried it home, and I could feel its little beating heart in my hands. And when I got home, I found an Easter basket, put some grass in it, and hung it up in a tree, and went off to play with my friends for a bit. When I came back, and I realized the bird's legs were stiff. And I went running and I said, Mom, look, my bird can walk a lot better now because its legs are stiff. And she said, oh, Ann, it's dead. And then we had a discussion. I realized I shouldn't have interfered in Mother Nature. You know, if I just had left it alone, it still kind of makes me cry. But so that was my momentum, and everything I do is to make up for why that little bird died. So the peninsula, of course, is another place where birds are. And I just think it's so interesting that they chose it before we ever chose it, before this was even Plymouth Harbor or anything. So I think it's marvelous that when this was built, it was decided that it would always be preserved and protected, and it would be for the birds.
We really are very excited about this project. One of the large ones that has actually been begun and started since we moved in, which is going on 5 years now.
Our goal with the current project is to create an environmental jewel that will be a pleasure for residents far into the future.
But we're so lucky to have this natural environment back there. I think it's a good idea for us to spend our energies to secure this wonderful peninsula.
I would just say that I'm supporting the project 100%, and I hope that each of you will give whatever you feel able to give. It'll give you a wonderful feeling. We are determined to do this project. I think we owe history to continue to keep the peninsula safe and comfortable for residents, attractive and safe for birds.
And we're contributing to the Peninsula Project because it's a shared responsibility, and it's my duty and everyone's duty to share in maintaining the beauty of this place.
We would like every one of you to make a gift to this Peninsula Revitalization Project because it's your dollars that will make it last and last for generations to come.
Hi, my name is Beth Watson, and I represent the Plymouth Harbor Foundation. And you've heard from quite a lot of people during this video speak from the heart about how important it is to support this Peninsula Revitalization Project. So I am asking all of you to consider a gift to this wonderful project which we are embarking on, and it's called the Revitalization of the Peninsula Campaign. We appreciate any gifts, large or small. Please consider joining your fellow residents and neighbors and friends in making a contribution to this project It will happen. It's an exciting endeavor that we're embarking on. It will start just after the first of the year. You will be amazed at the transformation of our little oasis of serenity out there. Thank you very much.